So let's say you're in charge of foreign investment for a country. One day you decide to look at Cameroon. It has a lot of oil and other natural resources, so it seems like a good idea to invest. After checking its history, you learn that in the mid-1600s your first civilized settlers had started coming in and began a government. Then, over the course of the next 471 years, Cameroon is overrun by Germany, fought over by the Germans and the French, divided up by the League of Nations to France and Britain, then they finally fight for and gain independence. That doesn't sound like a country you'd want to invest in, does it? In fact, this is just Cameroon's problem. According to geological surveys, Cameroon has plentiful oil resources throughout most of the unpopulated parts of the country. The need for oil is sparse in Africa, so it would make perfect sense to invest and have Cameroon ship oil directly to your country. The only downside is the unstable history of control in Cameroon. In the mid-1600s, tribes of Muslim and Portuguese explorers started migrating to the west of Africa. The tribes were dispersed into multiple groups, including the Bakas toward the south of the political Cameroon map, and the Sao, who lived in the north. They lived mostly peacefully up until the Europeans came to Africa, made political countries that didn't make any sense at all, and gave Cameroon to Germany. They remained a colony until after World War I, when the League of Nations divided ownership of Cameroon between France and Britain, although France had far more control over it than the Brits did. Both halves of Cameroon, the British half and the French half, fought for independence separately and gained it during the early 1970s. After gaining independence, the two parts of Cameroon joined together politically and formed the Republic of Cameroon fully in 1984. Cameroon has plentiful resources, as mentioned earlier. As shown on this graph, Cameroon started tapping into its natural gas resources in 2004, and since then they've used about 20 million cubic meters annually. Cameroon uses this natural gas for themselves only, and since their GDP is about $2,000, that isn't a lot of electricity needed to keep the country happy. It would make total financial sense to invest in a country like Cameroon. If they received aid from an investing country, Cameroon could buy or make the tools necessary to extract natural gas at their full potential. Unfortunately, investing countries don't pay much attention to Africa anyways. Cameroon is specifically disliked due to its instability issues with foreign control. In my opinion, the logic behind this type of analysis of other countries is perfectly reasonable. I wouldn't want to invest all my money in a country that might just steal it from me and then turn around because they want independence from me. I'd want a strong, reliable country. So what can Cameroon do? A bailout from the UN or a country that might want to invest in the future would probably be the best option for Cameroon in its current state. Maybe France could bail Cameroon out since they had near total control over the country for almost a century. Whatever option works, though, OPEC will have to step in and make a decision on Cameroon's exports. Oil and natural gas are the two things that can save Cameroon from its financial struggle. Like many other countries, Cameroon has potential as an exporter. If countries could be a bit more open-minded toward Africa of all places, then maybe they could take off as a continent, country by country, all of them helping each other become powerful. Who knows? Maybe Africa could have a world power country by the end of the century. Only time will tell who's brave enough to invest in Africa.